Stocks higher in after hours by about 6%. What's standing out to you from the numbers?
Yeah, I think overall this was really a blockbuster report for Disney, and there are so many different things that I think investors are cheering. So we're seeing some great progress on the cost-cutting efforts. The company guided to 20% EPS growth in fiscal 2024, which is way above what consensus was expecting. And then just across the board, we're seeing not just very good execution in terms of, again, cost cutting, but also a very clear strategy for them going forward. And one of the key questions for investors and kind of going into this quarter was, what is their end game with ESPN? Is there a strategy for streaming? And they came out, all guns blazing. So they have a new bundled sports service where ESPN is going to be part of another bigger bundle. And then they have a standalone ESPN streaming service, which is going to be introduced in 2025. Everything seems to be going right for Disney right now.
What are the implications for the future of ESPN?
Yes, I think, it was definitely a necessary step, I believe, for Disney because, they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall here in terms of cord cutting. What it means, I think, for the future is that they are going to be ready when more and more people cut the cord. We already have about 30 million people who have cut the cord in the United States. We're going to have tens of millions more who kind of do the same over the next few years. So this really kind of positions them to take control of their future and kind of control the distribution, which is really important because up until now, all of these big media companies have only controlled production, not distribution. So this really puts them at the forefront of that.
Something else that came out of the earnings was around Disney's plans for Epic Games, and we heard it, Bob Iger actually speaking about this. Let's just take a listen to what he said.
Our new relationship with Epic Games will create a transformational games and entertainment universe that integrates Disney's world-class storytelling into Epic's cultural phenomenon Fortnite, enabling consumers to play, watch, create, and shop for both digital and physical goods.
How is that sort of investment that they're making likely to be viewed by investors, do you think, Geetha?
I think it's definitely a good investment. It's a step in the right direction. I mean, if there's one thing, this is not the first foray for Disney into the video games. I mean, they've had some fairly checkered history here, more, I would say, failures than successes with direct involvement in video games, which is why they've kind of, always kind of stayed away from that direct investment and kind of gone to licensing. I think what they're realizing is they have this huge untapped market because if you just kind of look at the visitors to the theme parks, there are all these young children and they are the perfect target audience who are spending so much of time on video games, and it kind of makes perfect sense. It's a great move for them to kind of now invest, make a fairly small investment, but there's potentially a lot of upside, and they can create a whole new entertainment universe, which is really important for them going forward.